Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Slinging Dirt Series presented by Star Race Cars. We are all the way down south here at Volusia Speedway in what I believe is like East Bay, Florida, or something up the sort. Barberville, Florida. There it is. It's right there on the sign. And I was thinking of the probably off-season basketball tournament going on in East Bay, so I do apologize for that. Love me some basketball, man. LeBron James going to the Philadelphia 76ers, but that is neither here nor there. We are locked in. We are tapped in for round number 4 here of the Slinging Dirt Series Race Night in America. Up first, always going to be the Star Openers. It's like Obafemi and Brock Lesnar in a Hell in a Cell, except it's in a racetrack version here. It is going to be the Outlaw Street Stocks taking the stage first at our world's fastest half mile. Built in 1968, half a mile long, 18-degree banking in the corners, 6-degree banking here on the straights. I got a little bit ahead of myself. I will not lie about that, ladies and gentlemen. As always, my name is Mac Nelson. I'll be on the production, pushing all the buttons and making all the calls up here. Meanwhile, down on track, it looks like it's going to be the wonderful Derek Darnell, Richard Call, part of RK Racing there. Big shout out to them as well. Looks like we got TJ Boyd in the race control channel, as well as Ricky Barfield. So we've got a, what is that, a quartet? That would be 4, correct? Yeah. A quartet, a quad, if you will, a 4-stack of dreams up there in the race control booth for round number 4. Round number 5, however, I don't mean to jump the gun, but round number 5 is going to be taking place at Limaland. It's the birthday bash. Round number 5 coming to you guys on August 21st. 2 weeks time here on a crisp Friday night. Qualifying has just wrapped up, so what that means is we are about to start the night. There's the man that's going to be starting us off from the pole position here in heat race number 1. It's going to be the number 5 car of Jordan McLean. Will get through your entire grid here. It's going to be Chase Copeland starting on the outside of row number 1 in that number 110 Outlaw Street Stock. Joseph Pratt is going to be in P3. He sits inside row number 2. Derek Darnell is going to be the driver that begins us in P4. Jordan McLean, or take that back, Ricky Barfield, I apologize, going to be starting in P5. So drivers starting to take off, and wow, it's crazy how quiet they are actually on the other side of that racetrack. You can hardly hear them. But they are there. They are indeed there. iRacing official pace truck going to make its way around one more time. Then we'll be green here for our opening heat race of the night. Outlaw Street Stock's going to be one heck of a show. Absolutely zero doubt about that. We've got some love in the chat for Ricky Barfield. We'll have to see how he does in this heat race number 1. I feel like getting into how many we're going to take out of this heat is very unnecessary, because the fact of the matter is, we're going to be taking everybody. These are basically just seeding races. Going to be 6-lap heats. Green flag is in the air, and Jordan McLean and Chase Copeland are going to war already. Turn number 1, lap number 1. They are not going to be playing around. No sort of funny business from them. Chase Copeland sticking to a more top-sided line here. Jordan McLean going to wash up the track and get in front of him. It's going to be too wide for P3. That's Joseph Pratt and Derek Darnell in the 86 and 71. Ricky Barfield struggling here in the first 2 laps, as he is going to come around turn number 4 and not really able to gain much toward his I was going to say compadres, but to be honest, they're kind of enemies right now. A little bit of a moment there for Joseph Pratt in that 71. He is going to be very, very wide coming down the back straight. Ricky Barfield is actually going to get in front of him there. Chase Copeland is going to be leading this heat race so far. Jordan McLean in that number 5. Going to try something as we get down to 2 laps to go here. Going to be 2 sticks in the air for Barney the Flagman, as he is going to signal that we have only got 2 laps remaining in this heat race. Chase Copeland starting to pull ahead and starting to mount a very, very big lead here for a 6-lap heat race. Almost half a second. White flag is in the air. Jordan McLean managed to get the pole position, but when it came down to heat racing, he did not have too much for the likes of Chase Copeland. Around turns number 3 and 4. Checkered flag is out. Chase Copeland is going to be taking the heat race win here in heat number 1. Jordan McLean, Derek Darnell rounding out your final 2 positions on that rostrum. Joseph Pratt in P4, Ricky Barfield in P5. Moving on to heat race number 2 here before we get into our 25-lap feature for these Outlaw Street Stocks. You can hear the roar of them as they're sitting here, waiting to start. They're gridded up, waiting for that pace car to pull off. Your starting grid for this race is going to be Nicholas McDougall in the 05 machine. He is going to be sitting on pole there in the very, very wild and audacious monster themed, it looks like. If I'm not getting the reference, I apologize. He is going to be starting in P4, and rounding out your grid is going to be Christopher Perini. And ladies and gentlemen, I must say, I do feel the need to say it. The internet connection has been very, very bad today. Mediacom has not liked me as a person at all here today. So in the event that something happens, I am very, very sorry about that. It is quite literally out of my control, as I have called them. You know, I crap you not, ladies and gentlemen, probably 5, 6, maybe even 7 times now. And I keep complaining, and I keep complaining, and the local moms on Facebook are complaining as well. Because the Mediacom internet service is very, very horrid. And we are very, very slowly waiting for a new internet service provider to move in, so that way I can bring you guys some crisp, hopefully 4K broadcast in the future. But as for now, I unfortunately am kind of just stuck with what I have. Green flag in the air. Nicholas McDougall in the 0-5 going to be kicking us off, leading us away here. Jeffrey Hyatt in the number, well, actually, it's going to be the 11 here tonight, not sporting that number 66 like a normal. But they are going to be coming around turns 3 and 4 here for that opening lap. Richard Call in the 0-3-2. Or it's actually going to be the 71, I apologize. Or maybe that's a 21. I'm pretty blind here. No, it looks like a 7. Looks like it's going to be a 71 here on the side of Richard Cole. Christopher Perini, that crispy... Oh, I get it. The crispy pepperoni pizza. Number 13, he is going to be in P4, trying to fight over TJ Boyd here, who sits in that number 15. Outlaw Street Stock, Jeffrey Hyatt. They're 3 wide now for the lead. 2 sticks in the air for Barney the Flagman. Jeffrey Hyatt in that number 11. Nicholas McDougall in the 0-5. And Richard Call in that 71. They're all vying for the best position to start this 25-lap feature. McDougall thought about bringing it 3 wide into turn 3. Here again, white flag in the air. Jeffrey Hyatt has every sort of advantage. He has the ideal line. It's going to be very difficult for these 2 drivers to pass him. And I actually don't think it's really going to happen, but we've got a battle here for P2. Nicholas McDougall tried to slide up in there and coming to the line. Jeffrey Hyatt's going to take it. Nicholas McDougall, Richard Call, going to be your podium. Now, ladies and gentlemen, 3-minute warm-up before our feature race here tonight. And while the guys are burning in the track, warming Volusia, round number 4 of the Slinging Dirt Series Race Night in America. It's your Outlaw Street Stocks opening up the night, and it's right here on the OuTPost Racing Network.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
There might be some rain coming through. We expect rain soon. Rain is close. The session has been declared wet. No sign of this rain stopping. is clearing up. Rain should be gone for now. Nothing but sunshine all day.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. But the Outlaw Street Stocks, they're gridding up, they're taking away. I got the timing just a little wrong there, unfortunately. So I do apologize on that one. Not totally what you would like to see, and unfortunately, I have no idea if this has to do with my internet problems or... or if it's on iRacing live timing, because they definitely have maintenance too sometimes. There we go. Let's see if we can bring our grid up. Okay, fantastic. Chase Copeland. We've only got one lap to do this, guys. It's going to be rapid fire here. Chase Copeland on pole. Jeffrey Hyatt in the number 11, going to be outside row number 1. Jordan McLean, Richard Call, Derek Darnell make up your top 5. Nicholas McDougall, Joseph Pratt, Christopher Perini, Ricky Barfield, and T.J. Boyd round out your top 10 and your grid here tonight for the Outlaw Street Stock main event. Round number 4 here at the Swamp. It's Volusia. It's going to be electric. Chase Copeland starting just a tiny bit early. iRacing official pace truck hadn't even left the racing surface, but we are green nonetheless. A little bit of contact between Jordan McLean and Jeffrey Hyatt. These street stocks are absolutely beefed up, though. They are durable. So they are going to be fine, and we continue racing almost 3 wide for P2 here, coming to the start-finish. Rounding out our opening lap, Chase Copeland in that 110, looking mighty fine here for Chase Copeland Academy, Midwest Sim Sports, whatever he's repping nowadays. If you ask Facebook, he's repping Benadryl or whatever he be posting in the Dirt Talk channel. Yellow flag is out. It looks like Nicholas McDougall's had a little bit of a moment. Let's go back and take a look here. Down into turns number 3 and 4, and just gonna catch the yellow tire barriers marking the pit entrance. And that is going to be him around, and that is going to be our first caution of the night here. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, don't you go anywhere, because when these Outlaw Street Stocks wrap up, we're going to be heading into our hooked up super late models, where they will be going 75 laps here tonight at Volusia. And I want to insist on everyone reaching out, telling us out in the chat who you are rooting for in this Outlaw Street Stock race here. I'm sure it's going to be high-octane action, no doubt about that. Chase Copeland seems to be the man of the hour so far here. He has been class in that 110 Outlaw Street Stock. He looks to get his name into the win column here tonight. A couple of notable names missing. Tyler Bickford, which is your championship leader here in the Outlaw Street Stocks. He is not here tonight. Also, Shotzi. I've never seen Brandon Schatz and the actual Shotzi in the same room together. Who knows? Maybe Brandon Schatz is over in Paris playing the EWC for Optic Gaming. You never know. They had a game today against Team War, I believe. It was a 3-0 series victory for Optic Gaming. Green flag out. Chase Copeland still going to be at the helm, but here comes Jeffrey Hyatt. We're only a few laps in, ladies and gentlemen, and we're already 3 wide for the lead. It's going to be Hyatt in the middle with Copeland and McLean flanking him. But do not forget about the boss man, the commish, Derek Darnell. He takes a crazy shot to the left rear from Joseph Pratt, but it is not going to deter him whatsoever. The grid is split up into 2 groups of 5 right now. Jordan McLean now leads. A complete reversal of what it was last time around. It now sits McLean, Hyatt, Copeland instead of Copeland, Hyatt, McLean. And this is what you really don't like to see here from Chase Copeland. We don't know what his strategy is, but we're only 8 laps into this race, and it seems like the pace for him might be falling off just a tiny bit. But right now, we're seeing Jeffrey Hyatt and Jordan McLean absolutely come to blows here. Not even halfway through this contest, and look at these top 5 drivers. Oh, so close. It's only going to be 0.4 of a second that separates the first driver from the 5th driver. And Jordan McLean now is unfortunately going to get a little bit of that Copeland disease. He looked very, very strong to start this race, and now he sits in P5. Chase Copeland and Jeffrey Hyatt are starting to pull away from the pack. That pack going to be Pratt, Darnell, McLean, and now Barfield has sort of entered his name into the hat. And as for this second group of drivers, we got TJ Boyd, Nicholas McDougall, Christopher Perini, and Richard Call, all trying to jockey for position, vie for the best spot on the racetrack. Still 15 laps to go. There's a lot they can do. All they gotta do is do it. Drivers have completed 11 laps, starting, or I guess halfway through their 12th now. Fantastic stuff out of Jeffrey Hyatt here in the number 11. Chase Copeland in the 110, trying to chase him down, make something stick. Make some sort of move work, try to get into the head of teammate Jeffrey Hyatt. These two go to war all the time. Whether it be in the Dirt Revival Tour, the Slingin Dirt Series, or a little earlier in the calendar year, what we saw with the No Limit Racing Crown Jewel Tour. I'm sure there's a couple other series that these guys clash heads in, like SCRA on Wednesdays. Always going to be a fantastic time over there. Big shout out to SCRA. Love watching those broadcasts. Those guys get down. Jeffrey Hyatt, though, still managing to keep the same amount of leverage over Chase Copeland. Coming to the line, marks 10 laps to go here in our Outlaw Street Stock main event. Remember, guys, don't go anywhere, because the Hooked Up Super Late Models is coming on right after this. We'll go to maybe a 7, 8, maybe possibly 10-minute break. But then we will have Hooked Up Super Late Model action going. You'll be able to catch it all right here on the Outpost Racing Network, internet permitting. Feels like a WWE storyline with my internet service provider. Feels like Mediacom is just playing the heel, trying to sabotage every single broadcast I do, but we're going to keep going until they literally come shut me off. Jeffrey Hyatt, 8 laps to go, still going to be in this leading position. Chase Copeland starting to fall behind when it comes to the pace. But something notable here, folks. Joseph Pratt, the Jamaican driver in the actual number 71, he is going to be running a 15.53, which is going to be your best lap of the night. And the fact that we're getting that 18 laps into a 25-lap race might spell disaster for these two top guys. As you can see, he's taken a little bit of a different approach, though. He seems to be sat just a lane higher than Jeffrey Hyatt and Chase Copeland inside of turns number 3 and 4. Chase Copeland and Joseph Pratt had the same idea through turns 1 and 2. On that lap, however, they are going to stay high. Clearly not the right call because Jeffrey Hyatt has extended this lead. And now 4 laps to go here in the Slingin Dirt Series Outlaw Street Stock Main Event Round 4 Battle at the Swamp. We're here at Volusia, where I'm sure it's very, very hot and humid. We'll take a look at the weather here. 82 degrees outside, both in air and on the track. Humidity going to be 68%. So the air going to be thick, going to be sticky. And it's actually, to be fair, going to weigh these cars down, make them feel just a little tighter than they might already be given their setup. 2 sticks up in the air for Barney the Flagman, though. We're 3 wide for P2 with Chase Copeland taking the long way around. That clearly was not intentional. White flag in the air. Jeffrey Hyatt is all alone. Joseph Pratt and Derek Darnell are fighting for the second spot on the rostrum. Coming around turns 3 and 4, Jeffrey Hyatt takes the win. Derek Darnell is going to squeeze out Joseph Pratt for P2 by 1/100th of a second. And Joseph Pratt claims the final spot on that podium. Chase Copeland, the fall from grace, as he looked to be in a very good position here at the start. He is going to finish P4. Jordan McLean, who sat on pole, I believe. Or no, he didn't. I apologize. Jordan McLean sat P3. He is going to finish P5. Look at TJ Boyd, though. He finished P6 on the night. TJ Boyd started this race in P10, gonna finish P6. There is a look at your top 3 guys: Jeffrey Hyatt, Derek Darnell, and Joseph Pratt. What a fantastic run from all of those drivers here tonight. As we see Joseph Pratt, the 71 Jamaican driver, getting down. And that is going to lead us to our Hooked Up Super Late Models event that we will be covering here in just a few minutes. But before we do that, let's hop into the broadcast booth for our post-race interviews. And our first interview is going to be the driver that finished P2. It's going to be the boss man, the commish here, Derek Darnell. Derek, how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling pretty good on that one. We didn't get a lot of practice time in, but setups worked.
Yeah. I mean, it looked like you guys were, hooked up, not trying to, make a joke or anything, but you guys were hooked up. I know that's typically the super late models, but talk to me about the competition, man. For the majority of that race, 5 drivers there, packed in tighter than a can of sardines. How did it feel out there on track?
I didn't really know how the track was going to turn out because I figured we just, work our way up the track. About halfway through, I started hit that bottom one time on accident, and I was like, ooh. Found something nice down there, and I was just hoping they didn't notice it, and it paid off to get second, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like you guys were doing one heck of a job out there, not only racing very, very aggressively, but racing cleanly. And, as the commissioner, as, one of the head guys of this league, if not, the head guy, what's it like to maybe not have the car count you would have hoped for, but still getting that action-packed wheel-to-wheel racing? How's that speak on the roster that you guys have here at this league?
quality over quantity. Probably about the easiest way you can put it. We normally have some of the tight, clean races. Sometimes there'll be some wreck fest like always, but you know, I'd rather have a good quality driver that's going to lift and check up for people who use some racecraft and have 60 drivers show up.
Yeah, no doubt.
Works out better for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was an absolute blast to watch you guys here tonight, and I cannot wait for our second event here coming up in a few minutes. Before we let you get out of here, is there anybody you would like to shout out or thank for the performance here tonight?
I think Common John Brewery in Manchester, Tennessee, Shaw's Classic Cuts, MWSM Sports. That setup was something I cooked up in about 10 minutes, so we'll see what we can do next time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was really nice to talk to you here, Derek Darnell. Can't wait to see how you go in the super late models, and I can't wait to see what you bring next time around here when we go to the Lima Land.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That was Derek Darnell, ladies and gentlemen, and now we're going to get with our winner here tonight, Jeffrey Hyatt. How's it feel, man? You're in victory lane once again.
Yeah, finally. I didn't screw it up on a shift this time, huh?
Yeah, you know, I was thinking about that when you were coming to the line, when you were claiming that win. I was starting to think in my head, and I was like, dang, it really has been a while since I've talked to Jeffrey from, victory lane. And then I remembered, yeah, that shift you had really kind of ruined it for you. But here at Volusia, it seemed like you were hitting greens on everything. How did it feel out there?
Yeah, I felt pretty good. I was worried about the setup. I didn't know if I had kind of went with the right one or not. And I kind of started rolling the middle there, and I felt okay, but Chase was just so close to me that I was overdriving the car, and then that bottom come in, and I kind of hit the bottom like it was supposed to be hit, and started pulling away, and I was like, well, yeah, if it stays green, I think I got them covered here. So, but all in all, I feel pretty good.
Yeah, and what we normally see from you is a bit more conservative racing, a little bit more passive in your actions towards the beginning, and we've talked about it, a couple of times here, but you kind of went with an opposite approach, and you were up front the entire time. Was that a change of strategy, or was the pace just too good to ignore?
I think it was a little bit of both. Honestly, I've kind of hit on some stuff here lately. I kind of got in a test session with Dylan Yeager not too long ago, and he kind of showed me some things on how I was driving the cars that could kind of help at the start of a race and whatnot, and running the high line. So I've kind of just been saying screw it, and been getting a little bit better with the setups and stuff that I can pretty much just kind of go from the start now and not really have to save like I was having to in the beginning.
Yeah, without a doubt, man. You were absolutely cooking out there. Before we let you get going and get some practice for these hooked up super late models here tonight coming to you at Volusia, is there anybody you would like to thank or shout out for the performance?
Midwest Sim Sports, always. Those guys are always help over there. Majula Safe Speed Shop. Appreciate Darnell for what he's doing on Friday nights, giving us something to race, and appreciate you for broadcasting, giving us something to watch.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate the kind words as always, Mr. Hyde, and I look forward to talking to you, if not a little more tonight, then in the coming weeks here, especially next time out when we go to Lima Land. But I'll let you set up, and congratulations on the win here tonight in our Outlaw Street Stock feature.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the ever so kind Jeffrey Hyatt, always a blast talking to him in the booth. Well, that is going to be it for our Outlaw Street Stocks, but ladies and gentlemen, do not go anywhere, because in just a moment, We'll head to commercial break. And when we come back, it's going to be the hooked up super late models for the Slinging Dirt Series Race Night in America. Round number 4 at Volusia. Here, live on the OuTPost Racing Network. Let's go over your results for the night. Before we do that, once again, we do not want the warm-up results. We would like the feature results, please. There we go. Jeffrey Hyde is going to be taking it. We just heard from him and P2, Derek Darnell, Joseph Pratt, rounding out the bottom step of that rostrum with Chase Copeland, Jordan McLean, T.J. Boyd, Nicholas McDougall, Ricky Barfield, Richard Call, and Christopher Perini, rounding out your top 10 and the running order of the race here tonight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to step away for just a few minutes. We're going to change some things, get out of this session, into the next session, and when we come back, it's going to be the hooked up super late models live on the OuTPost Racing Network.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
There might be some rain coming through. We expect rain soon. Rain is close. The session has been declared wet. No sign of this rain stopping. Rain is clearing up. Rain should be gone for now. Nothing but sunshine all day.
Gasket can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on.
Going the long way around, we're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force it off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at him. They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom.
Richard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As that's still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
No back into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh,
and
my
to the
goodness.
line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. It's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Slinging Dirt Series. It's Race Night in America, and it's presented by Star Race Cars. For those of you who are just joining us, my name is Mac Nelson. I'll be your producer and your commentator, your lone voice up in the booth, as you will be pushing all the buttons and making all the calls. When it comes to the cool and easy part of it, the easy calls, making all the hard calls down on track is going to be our glorious race control team there at the Slinging Dirt Series. I believe Ricky Barfield, Richard Cole, Derek Darnell might be a few of them. We've got Aaron Bowman, Aaron McGee also in the race control channel. I have no idea if they're just chopping it up in there or if they are actual race control. Probably need to do a little better about knowing that. Richard Call, speaking of, is going to be our first driver out on track, so we'll take a look at him. He will be in the background while we go over where exactly we are. If you're just now tuning in, it was a fantastic street stock feature that saw Jeffrey Hyatt winning it. Derek Darnell, the head man, the commish, the boss, got P2. Joseph Pratt taking home P3, the bronze step on that rostrum. But we are at Volusia, opened in 1968, half mile, the world's fastest half mile, it is monikered. Dirt surface, obviously, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, come on. 18-degree corners with 6 degrees of banking on the straights. A true test of skill and courage is what the Wikipedia post said when I made this, so, you know, I have to agree. And it's a very tricky track to get around in the iRacing official service. I personally cannot speak to racing there in real life. I'm sure one of you fine lady or gentleman in the chat can maybe attest to how tricky it is in real life. Maybe you've been to watch. Maybe you've actually drove on the racetrack. How cool would that be? Eric Zulske is currently top of the timing tower, sitting there with a 14.84. Up in that number 35,6,900 I rating, Timothy Mesmer Jr. In the number 327 is going to be claiming second place, Aiden Lewis, who we've seen have an outstanding calendar year of 2026. Whether it be the No Limit Racing Crown Jewel Tour, the Dirt Revival Tour, or here in the Slinging Dirt Series, he has been electric. And he has done nothing but get better each and every time he exits that pit. We've also got Clifford Driscoll out here boasting an impressive 67.72 I rating. Jeffrey Hyatt as well, wrapping up his qualifying. He will be in the number 12 car. Very weird. You normally see him in the 66, but he sported a number 11 street stock here in our opening event, and now a 12 super late model. So not sure. The change of heart, maybe he has decided that he wants to get it out the mud with a new number. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be gridding up for heat race number 1. And it is going to be one heck of a show. I can almost guarantee you that. There is your pole sitter in all its beauty. That chromed out red and black super late model looking vicious here on the track. Going through your starting grid, it will be Aiden Lewis, who we just touched on. Going to be starting in pole for Midwest Sim Sports, Timothy Mesmer Jr., part of M9 Performance. He starts in P2. Christopher Perini in the number 13 will be on the inside of row number 2 with Jordan McLean in the number 5. He starts P4. Aaron McGee, Derek Darnell will make up row number 3 with Aaron Bowman and Jeffrey Hyatt making row number 4. Row number 5 is going to see Richard Call in the 032. Big part of Richard Call Racing and ABR Racing and Star Race Cars. Big shout out to RK Racing and Star Race Cars for hopping on board with the series. Nicholas McDougall, who had a less than optimistic, less than fortunate run in our Outlaw Street Stock main event just a few moments ago. He will be starting from the back in P10 of heat race number 1. The drivers are going to get set and ready. And I apologize deeply about the thumbnail placeholder picture above the driver cards. It's supposed to be a picture of their custom car. However, it's seeming to not want to cooperate here tonight. Hey, don't shoot me. I'm just the messenger here. Also, I think it's fair to say, or fair to warn you guys, that I've been fighting a month-long, 2-month-long war with my internet service provider, Mediacom. Feel free to go on their Twitter, bombard them with bad reviews, do something, hey. If it can get me some unthrottled and uncapped upload speed, then so be it. Just know if the stream does buffer or stream does lag, fingers crossed, it should resume to normal very, very quickly. It should only do that for maybe a minute at the maximum, and then we're right back to it, ladies and gentlemen. So please don't go anywhere. You will be getting this race here tonight. Heat race number 1 starting off on a bang. Derek Darnell, speaking of bang, is getting banged around like a bongo drum there in the middle lane here at Volusia. And he is going to make contact again. This time that's going to be with, I'm not even sure what car that is. It looks like it might be the number 12 of Jeffrey Hyatt. Yes, it is. I've got a burp that I'm trying to battle. But there's too much action happening on the racetrack right now. Timothy Mesmer Jr. trying to track down Aiden Lewis in the best way possible. And that right there might be the best way possible. We're going to stack them back up. We have a yellow flag out here. And oh no, the driver that just brought home P2 Jeffrey High. Oh, and Christopher Perini gonna smack the ever-loving you-know-what out of that wall. And unfortunately, Jeffrey Hyatt, Derek Darnell, they did not have a singular inch of racing surface they could have gotten to in time to avoid that one. We're going to stack them back up and continue racing here at Volusia. Looks like the lights might be out on that iRacing official pace truck. I hear a couple super late models trying their best to catch back up to the pack, so I can only assume... As no, I take that back. Lights are still on, so we'll go at least one more time around here at Volusia. And quite frankly, gentlemen, they always teach you to ignore it, but I can't. Thank you guys so much for choosing the OuTPost Racing Network as your home here on a Friday night. Thank you for inviting us into your homes. I cannot lie to you, I quite literally have never seen or have never had this many people. This many concurrent viewers inside of one of my broadcasts since starting the OuTPost Racing Network a few months ago. So thank you guys very, very much for tuning in. We're going to give you one hell of a show here tonight. Green flag in the air. Aiden Lewis is back at it. Like Jordan in 96. Except Aiden Lewis isn't playing baseball. I don't know what he does in his spare time, but he's back at it. 3 laps to go in heat race number 1, and with that single file line, it looks like Aiden Lewis might just have this thing wrapped up. But you can never call anything too early here in the world of racing. Going to be 2 sticks up in the air for Barney the Flagman, as it now sits at 2.8 tenths. That was a weird, very weird way to explain that. White flag in the air, 0.3 of a second lead for Aiden Lewis. And unfortunately, this is going to be the closest battle when it comes to your rostrum. Aaron McGee, though, has a fantastic run on Jordan McLean here, coming down the back straight. But it is just not going to be enough. Aiden Lewis is going to claim victory here in heat race number 1. Timothy Mesmer Jr. in P2. Jordan McLean rounding out that podium with a P3. Aaron McGee and Richard Cole round out your top 5. Heat race number 2 set to grid up and get started. And if I'm being honest, I'm not entirely sure if this is going to be our last heat or not. But either way, it's going to be entertaining. I know that to be factual. Eric Zulske, who, if I'm not mistaken, took home the victory here in the hooked up super late models. I believe it was round number 2. With it being a bi-weekly series, ladies and gentlemen, it gets hard to remember all this stuff. Whit Nisley in the number 46 is going to be in P2 with TJ Boyd and Bentley Stewart making up row number 2. Row number 3 sees Clifford Driscoll, part of 3D Racing. He will be in P5, and outside him in row number 3 is going to be Nate Wimhoff, part of Midwest Sim Sports. He is sitting in that number 48 super late model. Ricky Barfield and Chase Copeland are going to round out your grid, or I guess row number 4, with Robert Eversole in that 069, part of Copenhagen Racing Enterprise, I assume is that last word. And if I mispronounced Copenhaver, I apologize. Very, very big on the apologies. I'm not too good at enunciating my words, if you can tell. Probably shouldn't have picked broadcasting and commentary as the side gig, but hey, here we go. Here we are. We'll hop back up into our spotter booth as the iRacing official pace truck gets set to take off and head into the safety of the pit lane. And they're going to release the hounds into the freedom. Eric Zulske has the button right inside of turn number 4. He is going to push that button, and we are green here. 8 laps, heat race number 2, and look at Whit Nisley, the run he just got in turns 1 and 2. I mean, I don't mean to make a pun, but that super late model was the definition of hooked up. Bentley Stewart now with a 1 that very closely resembles the 1 in the 110 on Chase Copeland's car. He will be sitting in P3, and he looks to dive down into the inside. He wants to put his nose into the picture, and he gets around Eric Zulske, but Eric Zulske is going to bring it right back to him and reciprocate the favor. As these guys are going at it, a wash-up from Bentley Stewart. That's going to cause both him and Eric Zulske to take compromised exits out of turn number 2. And now Eric Zulske is fighting TJ Boyd and Nate Wimhoff, but Bentley Stewart still lacking a little bit of pace. He is going to opt to take that top side. Eric Zulske throws the slider in front of him, cut down by Bentley Stewart. He gets back around him. 3 laps to go. Once Whit Nisley crosses the line, he has done that. It is nothing but daylight. It's like Derrick Henry in 2022 for him. As Bentley Stewart in that number 1 trying to find some sort of way to increase the gap, increase the leverage between himself and Eric Zulske. TJ Boyd and Nate Wimhoff are having a battle here. This is going to be for P4. Clifford Driscoll wanting to throw his name into the hat. White flag in the air for Whit Nisley, and it's nothing but daylight. 1 second lead for Whit Nisley. Bentley Stewart's got a big enough advantage to go ahead and call it. Whit Nisley is going to win heat race number 2. Bentley Stewart takes home second, and Nate Wimhoff. Whoa, I wasn't even aware. We're going to have to go back and take a look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. I think Nate Wimhoff, and oh no, I wasn't able to see it, but Nate Wimhoff just somehow heisted that podium finish in heat race number 2 from Eric Zulske. What a moment that was for him. Wow, that was an absolute heist. I mean, there's no other way to put it, ladies and gentlemen. That was a heist. Granted, it wasn't for much, to be fair, but hey, pace is pace and game is game. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to hop into a 5-minute warm-up for these drivers to burn the track in and get all the setup changes needed out of their car. When we come back, it's going to be a 75-lap feature here in the Hooked Up Super Late Models series, or the class, I should say, in the Slinging Dirt Series Race Night in America, presented by Star Race Cars, live from virtual Volusia, right here on the OuTPost Racing Network.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
There might be some rain coming through. We expect rain soon. lane is close. The session has been declared wet. No sign of this rain stopping. Rain is clearing up. Rain should be gone for now. Nothing but sunshine all day.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the OuTPost Racing Network. My name's Mac Nelson, and if you're just now joining us, you couldn't have picked a better time to join us. Thank you for inviting me and the entire Slinging Dirt Series roster into your homes or your mobile device, wherever you're watching this at, for a fantastic Friday night Slinging Dirt Series race night in America, live from Volusia Speedway. The world's fastest half mile, they have monikered it. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, there is no time like the present. It's time to get in, get stuck in, and have ourselves one heck of a night. It's time to go racing 75 laps around Volusia Speedway. And there's nothing other to do than go over your starting grid for the race here tonight. In pole position, the 55 of Aiden Lewis. You can see his car right there. He will be one to watch here tonight. Witnessly in the number 46, going to be outside that pole row, with Timothy Mesimer Jr. and Bentley Stewart making up row number 2. Jordan McLean, Nate Wimhoff will be in row number 3, with Aaron McGee and Eric Zulske in row number 4. Star Race Cars and RK Racing Zone, Richard Call in the 032 will be in P9. Starting outside row number 5, going to be TJ Boyd in that number 15. Aaron Bowman and Clifford Driscoll make up row number 6. Nicholas McDougall in the 05 is going to be in P13 with Ricky Barfield in the 102. Jeffrey Hyatt and Robert Eversole will make up row number 8 here tonight, with Derek Darnell, the big boss man, the commissioner of the league, starting in P17. Chase Copeland in that number 110 for Midwest Sim Sports and Chase Copeland Academy. He will be starting P18, and rounding out our grid, he had a big moment in heat race number 1 is going to be Christopher Perini in that number 13 super late model. He will be starting P19. Green flag is in the air, and that means we are racing. You can hear the roars of those super late models as Bentley Stewart has a moment. And he is going to go off and wide into turns number 1 and 2. Here's Aiden Lewis in the number 55. 75 laps is a long time, but if he can drive it like that for the entirety of this race, he will be in victory lane, I have no doubt. Bentley Stewart already finding his way back to normal form after that horrific turn number 1 as we started this race. TJ Boyd in the number 15 has a little bit of a suboptimal line heading into turns number 1 and 2. And we have our first caution of the night, and it looks like it might belong to that man right there, the 102 of Ricky Barfield. We'll go back and take a look here. We got Christopher Perini behind him, Jeffrey Hyatt in front, and just getting a little too close on that top side up where the angels sing. And he had a very, very unadvantageous, or disadvantageous, I should say, collision with Mr. Barry R. If you're familiar with Super GT, bit of a culture clash there. You don't really see Super GT in the dirt oval community, but hey, we love any sort of racing around here, no doubt about that. Aiden Lewis still going to be leading the way. Lights still on the iRacing official pace truck, so we'll be going at least one more time around here. But man, oh man, we're only just starting August. We've still got 4 complete months of this year left, and Aiden Lewis is already making it seem like this might be his best year. Nothing but positive results coming out of that number 55 machine and the camp of Aiden Lewis, as he is going to rep Midwest Sim Sports, and they have had a fantastic year. Looking to end 2026 off with a bang as well, but we are green for our second start of the night. Bentley Stewart and Whit Nisley still looking very, very sound. Very pronounced in how they are driving the car currently. It's textbook for a driver that might want to use a little bit of their stuff early to gain a track position advantage. Bentley Stewart now takes the lead in that number 1 car. Timothy Mesmer Jr. in the 327. Looking to make something work on that top side. 70 laps still to go. The iRacing dirt oval scene isn't really in the greatest of spots right now. You really see the same thing happening in each race. The drivers will burn that bottom side and mid lane in for about 10-15 laps, and then it really kind of just becomes the top show for the remainder of the race. A lot of leagues out there, like the Slinging Dirt Series, like the Dirt Revival Tour on Mondays, and like my series that hasn't had a race in a few weeks, admittedly, the Win Cash Wednesday series over at the OuTPost Racing League. We try to increase the size of these races. We try to make them a little longer, so that way the track might develop in a little different ways and we don't necessarily see the same thing. But unfortunately, with how the season is and how the simulator is currently built, it's really hard to avoid that big battle now between Whit Nisley and Clifford Driscoll. This is going to be for P5. Aiden Lewis and Whit Nisley, who looked very, very good at the start, they have now dropped back, maybe wanting to save a little bit of their stuff. Whit Nisley kind of parking it on the nose of Clifford Driscoll there. That's going to open up the door for Jordan McClain to make some sort of move now. Jordan McClain not going to be able to get that super late model to turn and set in. That's going to be very awkward for Aaron McGee as he basically has to kind of ask Nate Wimhoff there for a little bit of room so he can get around and not completely slow up the track. Eric Zulske in the number 35. He is no doubt going to be a contender towards the back half of this race. Same can be said about Jeffrey Hyde and the driver right behind him, Chase Copeland. These two guys, or three guys I should say, are always forces towards the end of the race. Nicholas McDougall trying to make something happen onto Chase Copeland. Doesn't look like anything's going to fall for him now. Christopher Perini not having the best of time here tonight as he, if I'm not mistaken, is probably on a compromised race car because of what happened there to start our race. Our top two drivers have built up a little bit, or top three, I should say, have built up a little bit of an advantage over the rest of the pack. Here sits Jordan McClain in P4. And as you ascend up the grid order, that is a big difference there. In gap, it's going to be 2.4 seconds from the car you're currently focused on. TJ Boyd back to Jordan McClain in the number 5. Bentley Stewart and Timothy Mesmer Jr. are having one heck of a time battling for this P1 position. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I can see the bars turning red. I can see the bit rate lowering just a tiny bit. Mediacom, not a big fan of what I'm doing here with the streams. They try to cap me, they try to throttle me, but it's not going to stop me if you get a buffer. Or if the stream says it goes down, please refresh. I promise I am going to get you. It doesn't matter if it's on 1 bit rate, 10 bit rate, 50 bit rate. It doesn't matter. I am delivering you guys this race in any way I see fit. I might just have to hotspot and hold my phone up to my monitor. It doesn't really matter. I'm giving you guys this race because the drivers deserve it and you, the fans, deserve it as well. Bentley Stewart now battling a little bit of lap traffic there. That's going to be the 102 of Rookie Barfield. Timothy Mesmer Jr. now in focus, part of M9 Performance. He is going to be in P2, 7/10 back from our leader, Bentley Stewart. TJ Boyd is going to be 1.3 seconds behind Mesmer Jr., so a pretty decent gap between all three of our top drivers right now. It's become a really stretched out track already just in the span of 23 laps. You don't really see that too often, but TJ Boyd had himself one heck of a moment because he actually got passed by Jordan McClain there. Real quick, we're going to go back and take a look at this. This is Jordan McClain, and as you can see, yeah, TJ Boyd getting into the wall there. That's going to cost him his position and probably a little bit of pace from here on out. As now Clifford Driscoll looks to get into the mix. Maybe have a little battle for P4 here on TJ Boyd. Jordan McClain battling lap traffic now. That's going to be the 102 of Richard Call. And there it happened. I saw the bit rate drop down, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry. Like I said, we're delivering you this race, if you can hear me. We are delivering you this race. It does not matter. Mediacom heard me. They're smiting me. It's like Odin when he makes Thor not worthy of Mjolnir anymore. But through the amazing racing, through the amazing broadcasting, they'll have no choice but to air us out over the airwaves here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is the Slinging Dirt Series Race Night in America. Round number 4 here at Volusia. Bentley Stewart leads 29 laps into this race, 46 left. Timothy Mesmer Jr. in the 327 is going to be in P2 with Jordan McClain rounding out your podium. Big battle now happening here between TJ Boyd and Whit Nisley. This is going to be for P5. Whoa, Whit Nisley just slamming it. Setting the car real early there down into turns 1 and 2. TJ Boyd seeming like he almost was just like, all right, man, you can have it. Letting him go, and that was almost an audacious move by Whit Nisley. Might have scared the number 15 driver of TJ Boyd just a little bit. I know it would have scared me. We would have had a Code Brown moment in the Super Late model if that was me driving. That's why I stay up in the booth, ladies and gentlemen. Our second caution flag of the night is out. As Ricky Barfield once again has had a little bit of a moment. Here he is. Oh, getting into the 35 of Zulske, and then the number 8 of Aaron McGee as well. Oh no. A little pinball action for Ricky Barfield in the 102. That is not how you want your race to go. As it is maybe going to be the night over for Ricky Barfield, man. Whoa, that scared me for a second. I thought we might have been going green again, ladies and gentlemen, but no, they're just catching up to the pace car. As I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on who you are rooting for. Me, personally, I can't take any sides up here in the broadcast booth, but if I was going to, somebody I don't hope wins, but somebody I hope gets last place might be Chase Copeland here in the number 110. Reason being, I've known him all my life, grew up with him, went to school with him, and I really have no other reason but to hate watch him. That's what you do to your homies, right? But nah, seriously, Chase Copeland, fantastic driver. Very, very quick here. Boasts an impressive 6,300 I rating. One of the highest ones in here for certain. As we are going to stack things back up. Get things going. Bentley Stewart here in the number 1. iRacing official pace truck making its way into the safety of the pit lane. Green flag is in the air. And we start all over again. Jordan McLean taking a very shallow line into turns 1 and 2. That's going to hurt him. As Timothy Mesmer Jr. now sets up a move down on the inside. Coming out of turn number 4. Drag race for position. And it is going to go towards the way of Jordan McLean, really deep into turns 1 and 2, almost off the back of the shelf there for Timothy Mesmer Jr. Clifford Driscoll going to take very big notice of that. He is going to try to take every opportunity he can to get himself advanced in this grid and ascend up to the lead. But Jordan McLean tried to cut down, couldn't get the late model turned over and across the back end in time. There's going to be a little bit of contact. 3 wide behind the 2 wide. Mesmer Jr., the 99 of Whit Nisley, and Aiden Lewis in that 55. You can almost just smell it. Calamity is going to be in the air. Eric Zulske, after getting a little bit of a hit from Ricky Barfield earlier in the 102, he is going to be in position to make some moves. As P2 to P8 is going to be almost 2-second gap between the 6 or 7 cars. Haha, 6, 7. Aiden Lewis in the number 55, maybe gonna try to park one on the nose of Jordan McLean, but he is able to get his momentum planted, get that right rear to really hook up, and he is off and away. Eric Zulske now blocking off the 327 of Mesmer Jr. Only 36 laps to go. It's going by so quick, ladies and gentlemen. These super late models running 3 seconds a lap faster than the Outlaw Street Stocks that we started off the night with. Oh, Zulske down on the inside of McLean. Not able to get that one to stick. Meanwhile, Bentley Stewart boasting a 1 second lead over Clifford Driscoll right now. But with the chaos, with the calamity that we're seeing back here from P4 to P10, you can only assume it's not if, but when that next caution flag comes out. But look at Zulske, man. Eric Zulske in the number 35 Fanatec Super Late Model. He is slicing and dicing right now, trying to cross over Jordan McLean. Does he have the answer? And I'm not talking Allen Iverson, but the 35 of Eric Zulske battling the number 5 of Jordan McLean here. This is going to be for P4. Whit Nisley trying to insert himself into the picture way up there where the Angels sing. Big run down the back straight for him. But he is going to have to check up for the number 5 of McLean. And if you're Whit Nisley, that's one of the worst things you can do. Or not do, but it's one of the worst things you can feel as a driver. Is when you have to check up, cross over for Nisley. Almost getting into the number 8 of Aaron McGee. Ladies and gentlemen, I did not pour water. I didn't expect the show to be this electric. That is my bad for that. I should have known the hooked up Super Late Models always bring some sort of chaos, some sort of calamity. Always going to be tight and aggressive, but clean racing. Now the 44 of Aaron Bowman, who has had quite a quiet night here tonight in P7. 3 wide, almost 4 wide for P6, ladies and gentlemen. Still 29 laps left to go in the contest. Jordan McLean in the number 5 has seen nothing but battle all night. He's like Beowulf. If you know, you know. I don't know why I said Beowulf. A fantastic movie, though, if you haven't seen it. Whit Nisley now in the number 46, trying to make his way up towards the lead guys here. Aaron Bowman, Aaron McGee. It's going to be Aaron squared with Eric Zulske in front of them. And now Aiden Lewis out of nowhere has just caught back up to Bentley Stewart. It was a 1.7 second lead at one point. Clifford Driscoll going to be quickly in tow as well. So it looks like a 3-headed dragon for the lead here. Which one will take advantage? Which one will win 25 laps? Round number 4 of the hooked up Super Late Models. It's the Slinging Dirt Series Race Night in America, presented by Star Race Cars. Bentley Stewart in the number 1, Aiden Lewis in the number 55, Clifford Driscoll in the 63. That sets your scene, ladies and gentlemen. And we will stay on this lead battle unless something absolutely crazy happens, because what we're seeing here are 3 drivers with almost identical pace. Last lap, it's a 16.26, 16.26, 16.27. Between these 3 drivers, it does not get any closer. Unfortunately, Clifford Driscoll is going to fall very, very far off the pace there into turns number 1 and 2. 22 laps left here. Bentley Stewart looking to etch his name into the winner's column. And what a night it would be here for Bentley Stewart if he was able to claim victory. And Aiden Lewis in the number 55. It's going to be a long 2 weeks if he cannot get this win. So many times he's been in the position, and I know I touched towards the top of the broadcast on how 2026 has been his year. He's been electric on top of the world. However, things are not seeming to go his way through the latter half of the race right now. Still 18 laps remaining, but the amount of times he's been in this position and lost the lead in the last couple of laps or at the last stage of the race, that has been plentiful too. So for a guy who has gotten multiple wins in his column here in the calendar year of 2026, there's also been a lot of situations where he could have got the win and hasn't. So Aiden Lewis, will this be another one? A little bit of connectivity issues. A little bit of a blink for him, but he's right back in, and we are continuing racing. Meanwhile, now down here in P6, Jeffrey Hyatt looks to try to take P5 from Chase Copeland. I told you guys, these two drivers were going to be in contention here towards the end. Did they wait just a little too long to use their stuff? Chase Copeland in the 110, Jeffrey Hyatt in the number 12. 13 spots up on the grid for Copeland. He started this race in P18. He now sits in P5. Jeffrey Hyatt 9 positions up. Started the race in P15. He now sits in P6. Bentley Stewart across the line. 13 laps now to go. He still leads over Aiden Lewis, and the caution flag is out. Oh, no. We box them up again, ladies and gentlemen. Can it get any better? We'll take a look here at Richard Call in the 0-3-2 around the cushion there. Turns number 3 and 4, and he's going to do the exact same thing that... Oh, man, who was it? My peanut brain is already starting to forget. I believe it might have been Ricky Barfield in the 102 who did that earlier on in the night. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. But man, oh man, only our third caution of the night. So I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I had to take a second, get a drink of my Southern-style sweet tea. Come on now. I'm from Kentucky. We're racing dirt oval. What do you expect me to drink, ladies and gentlemen? Because I'm not drinking water. I'll tell you that right now. Although water is my preferred choice up here in the booth, I must say. iRacing official pace truck going to what I can only assume make one more round. One more time around Volusia Speedway. As we are going to have, I believe, 12 laps to go once we cross the green flag and we resume racing. Your current leader, Bentley Stewart, been on fire all night long. Can he find a way to get it done here at Volusia? Oh no, it's going to be a little too hard on the throttle for him. He kicked his rear end down, and that's going to allow Clifford Driscoll, I apologize, Aiden Lewis, I'm starting to mix up my words. It's going to allow them a good run into turns number 1 and 2, but Clifford Driscoll with an abysmal first corner as he is going to drop the ball and now sits half a second back from our two leaders, Bentley Stewart and Aiden Lewis. Everyone going to be boxed up. Chase Copeland, Jeffrey Hyatt still advancing up the grid. 10 laps now to go. Ladies and gentlemen, if we have another yellow flag, we are going to be going single file. So that's something to look towards if we do find ourselves with another yellow flag out in the air, of course. I think everybody can agree that is not what we want. The racing tonight has been spectacular in these hooked up super late models. 9 laps to go. 16.35 that last time around for Bentley Stewart. 16.41 on the side of Aiden Lewis. Very, very close lap times, but Bentley Stewart is edging him out just a tiny, tiny bit. 7 laps now to go. Chase Copeland trying to chase down Clifford Driscoll there for P3. Jeffrey Hyatt also in P5 in that number 12 car. Those two drivers easily your biggest movers of the night. Unfortunately for Whit Nisley, he's going to be the biggest mover in the negative direction, starting this race in P2, and he now sits in P15. So a driver that looked very, very good, very quick to start the night. Not able to find that pace once we get to the track that we see here. Back to your leaders, and this is where we will stay until the completion of the race. Ladies and gentlemen, Bentley Stewart, Aiden Lewis, Clifford Driscoll. 4 laps to go, and Bentley Stewart just... I'm not entirely sure what happened to him. Aiden Lewis just gapped him on that back straight. It looked like Bentley Stewart might have lifted off his throttle or something. Bentley Stewart has just thrown the race lead away, and Aiden Lewis in the number 55 now sits at the helm. 2 sticks up in the air for Barney the Flagman. That means 2 more times around Volusia. And we will have our round number 4 winner here crowned. Bentley Stewart trying not to hemorrhage these positions and lose P2 as well, but Chase Copeland now looking to hunt down the final spot on that podium. Bentley Stewart has another stinker of a corner into T1. He's gonna slide up in front of Clifford Driscoll. Aiden Lewis, in a miraculous throw by Bentley Stewart, is gonna claim victory here tonight at Volusia, and he gets another W in the column for 2026. Bentley Stewart manages to scrape out P2. Clifford Driscoll finishing in P3. Chase Copeland in the 110, grabbing that best of the rest spot. Jeffrey Hyatt rounding out your top 5. There are your 3 finishers, ladies and gentlemen, your 3 podium sitters. As what a fantastic race we saw here tonight, not only in the hooked up super late models, but also the Outlaw Street Stocks. Let's go back and take a look at what exactly happened here. As you can see, Bentley Stewart, oh, just a wall tap. And Aiden Lewis, I mean, they were running so close to each other all night. I mean, there's not really any way for Aiden Lewis to know that he was going to hit that wall. Man, what a time for a mistake like that. And it's going to be a big one. And Aiden Lewis, he tries to cut down, to be fair. I mean, he cut down absurdly quick. For the reaction, or, you know, for the time that he had to react, Aiden Lewis sure got out of the way pretty quick there. And obviously not how you want the race to finish if you are Bentley Stewart. But heading into our post-race interviews, we first go to Clifford Driscoll, who finished the race on the bottom step of the rostrum in that number 63. Clifford, you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I got you.
Man, what a race it was tonight, and what a race it was for you, man. You were in a battle. You were basically in what seemed like World War II for the entirety of the night. It was just battle after battle. Tell me how it felt to just always be under some sort of duress during this race.
Well, honestly, those are some of my favorite races to be in. You know, you got to be on your toes, and when you get to race with a handful of guys that can, you know, show a little bit of racecraft and hold their line and allow you to make moves as an opponent, those are the most fun. I mean, you get up there racing with people like Aiden and Bentley, and you end up, you know, you get better racing people that, you know, will race you hard, but with a little bit of respect, so you know you're not going to get junked when you make moves. So it was a ton of fun, honestly.
Yeah, no doubt. It seemed like a really fun time to be out there. Now, I do have to ask you, you seem to be very confident in how you set your car, not only going into turns 1 and 2, but also turns number 3 and 4, and it begs the question, is Volusia one of your better tracks, or were things just hitting on all cylinders for you here tonight?
I'll be perfectly honest. Volusia is actually not one of my better tracks. I had a buddy of mine who
Wow.
specializes in building some of these 7,500 lap setups, and he said, one of those, here, try this. And I made a small adjustment after the warm up, took a pound of air pressure out of the right rear to tighten it up a little bit. And after about the first 15, 20 laps, I felt like I could run down anybody in front of me as long as I had a little bit of clean track to make some moves and put the car where it wanted to be.
Yeah, well, you did exactly that, Clifford. You were absolutely rapid here tonight, and that is no joke. Now, I gotta ask, in 2 weeks' time, August 21st, we head to Limaland for round number 5. Seeing as you don't like Volusia, and Limaland is a, pretty daunting track, or not daunting, but it's very different from Volusia. Is that a place you're looking forward to, or do you not care too much for Limaland as well?
Well, I kind of enjoy them all. I'm just, you seem to have better results at some other than others. So, Limaland's not too bad. As long as I can get myself qualified well and you can kind of avoid some of the chaos that goes back when the track starts changing, being up at the front always helps that. So, really, my night's kind of dictated on how much traffic there is to work around.
Yeah, without a doubt. It was fun watching you guys navigate around the traffic here tonight. But before we let you get out of here and celebrate this P3 finish, is there anybody you would like to shout out or thank for the performance here tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. The guys over at 3D Racing, like I said, I got a setup from Scott Dobbs, the team owner over there that he built. So big shout out to that. That was a big part of the performance tonight. Racing the guys over at 3D makes me a much better race car driver. So I got to thank them when I can. Got to thank Meesemer Family Racing. He threw my wrap together for me. Does a pretty bang up job. So can't argue too much with that. So those are the big two. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for showing these. Greatly appreciated.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No doubt about it. Going to be your third place finisher here, Clifford Driscoll, in the number 63. Fantastic time talking to you, and hope for more success later on in the season.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
That was your P3 finisher here on the night, and now we are going to turn to our second place finisher, Bentley Stewart.
Fucking piece of dumb fucking shit.
Oopsies.
All right, we are going to, I'm really sorry about that language, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go ahead and skip that interview for now, and we are going to head to our winner of the race here tonight, Aiden Lewis. In that number 55, man, you got it done once again, and what a year 2026 has been for you, Aiden. You got a copy?
Oh yeah, 100%, dude. That was a very fun race, not gonna lie.
Hey, that was a very, very fun race to watch. And Aiden, I just want you to know, I don't know if you've seen or heard, but you just got that win in front of, and I can't believe I'm telling you this, but 130 people currently watching the stream. How's it feel?
Oh, dude, that's crazy. Wow, that's gotta be like a record breaker on view count for sure.
Oh yeah.
It's actually a good bit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So walk me through it, man. How did it feel?
It was fun, dude. Like I don't know. I wasn't really going to be able to pass him really anywhere else. I had to just sit there and kind of just stalk him and wait for something to happen. And he ended up barely clipping the wall on the turn 2 right there. And I had to just go for it. And I don't know. It's just like one time I tried to make the bottom work in 1 and 2 and it was not working whatsoever. And then right there at the end, I slipped up one time and almost let Clifford by. But I was able to make it work. I didn't want to run the top like all of them real early because I was trying to save tire. That's why I fell back to like 8th, and then kind of made my way back up. Made my way back up around I guess the first caution, and yeah, that's about it really.
Yeah, and it seemed like the name of the game for you tonight. With you saying that, it kind of goes perfectly into my second question. You had to fall back, you wanted to save your tires, you wanted to attack and push really hard there towards the end, and it seemed like a race of composure because it seemed every single position was being sought after, being battled for every single lap around here. So what's it like for you in those, I don't want to say chaotic because we were very, very clean tonight, as a grid. I think only 4 cautions in a 75-lap race, which is not bad for the racing, for the iRacing official service here today with the netcode issues and all that. So what was it like? Did you think that you maybe thrived in that chaos, or do you think it was just, like I said, maybe a game of composure?
I mean, I think I did. I think I was confident that I was going to be able to make my way up there because, I've worked on a setup for this track specifically for a while, with Midwest's help and all them guys over there. And, I originally was working on it in the DRT race, that first race we did, and I ended up almost running down Stephen Gaines, and I knew it was going to be good, after all that. So, yeah, I mean, I've just been tweaking with it, messing around, playing with gear a little bit here and there, and I don't know, I think I just finally figured out something good that works for me, really.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like it worked out great for you, and you got it done here at Volusia. It seemed to be a fantastic time, not only for you, but for a majority of the drivers on the grid. It seemed like you guys were having a really fun time out there. Let's look forward to next race in 2 weeks' time via, the bi-weekly series. August 21st, we head to Lima Land. How do you feel about that track? Are you oozing with confidence going in, or is it somewhere you don't really care to race all that much?
Yeah, definitely not oozing. We'll say that. I'm not a big fan of Lima Land, to be honest with you. I'm gonna have to figure something out there, but I don't know. It's a fun track. It's just real close quarter racing, which sometimes to me I think I thrive in, but I don't know. We'll see, and I'll definitely be there and give it a shot.
Yeah, without a doubt. Really, really hope to see you with success there, much like many of the other places that we've visited here this year. It's definitely been a good year for you. We're going to let you get out of here and celebrate that win here tonight. But before we let you go, is there anybody you would like to shout out or thank for the performance here tonight?
Oh, yeah. Midwest Sim Sports and all the guys over there. I wouldn't even be up here if it wasn't for them. That's for dang sure. CFM setups, especially all them, because, that's what I was running the night. If anybody's wanting some setup for iRacing and people that willing help to help you, learn and get better, that's a really good place to go. Aces and Aces Designs, Jeffrey over there making insanely good raps. So anybody's wanting a rap, you can go over there and get up with him. You for putting the stream on, especially in front of all these amazing people, and Derek and all them for putting up this money and giving us a place to race, and that's about it.
Yes, sir. Well, we appreciate the kind words as always, Mr. Lewis. Look forward to talking to you a little more throughout the season. Your winner here tonight in the number 55 Super Late Model here at Volusia.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for our post-race interviews here tonight. What a fantastic showing. What a fantastic event. And man, oh man. The racing, the results were there to match the vibes. Fantastic night, or I guess day. Because we are not under the lights here at Volusia, and I just kind of now realized that. Normally you see racing under the lights here at Volusia, but we'll go over these results here. As, yeah, we have the feature results. Not going to show the warm-up results. For once, good job on iRacing live timing. Aiden Lewis gets it done in the number 55. He is going to win by .263 against Bentley Stewart, who comes home in P2. Clifford Driscoll, who we talked to, finishing on the final step of that rostrum. Chase Copeland in P4, Jeffrey Hyatt P5, Eric Zulske bringing it home in P6 with Aaron Bowman, Aaron McGee, Timothy Mesmer Jr., and Nate Wimhoff rounding out your top 10. Christopher Perini in the number 13 takes home P11 with Derek Darnell, the head boss man, the commissioner. He is going to be in P12. Nicholas McDougall in the 05 coming home P13. Jordan McLean and Whit Nisley. Not the night they probably would have hoped for here. Richard Call in the 032 finishing in P16. TJ Boyd going to be out about 20 laps from the end. And Ricky Barfield in P18 with an early exit tonight as well. Robert Eversole Jr. was here, but never took the grid in the feature race. I don't know if that's because we take 18 or if he decided to not race, but either way, fantastic night of racing here on the Outpost Racing Network. And from everyone here at the Outpost Racing Network and the Slinging Dirt Series team, we want to thank you for inviting us into your homes here on a Friday night. Round number 4 was special. When we come back on August the 21st, we're going to do it all over again. But this time going to be at Lima Land Motorsports Park. Make sure you tick your calendar. Set your alarms, because if you thought the racing here was fun, just wait till we get to the small oval of Lima Land. Going to be one heck of a time. Big shout out to the Slinging Dirt Series presented by Star Race Cars. Thank you for hopping on to the series, as well as Richard Call Racing, RK Racing. You can see the logo in the top right now. Big shout out to them for hopping on to the series as well, showing their generosity. And a big thank you to the team for choosing me to be the broadcasting home. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Also, make sure to comment down below what was your favorite part of the race here tonight. Also, subscribe for content similar to this. We will be back. The Outpost Racing Network takes to the skies, or takes to the track again Monday, I should say, for round number 5 in the championship round of the Dirt Revival Tour. We will crown a champion there. It will be one heck of a show. Now that I know for sure. That will be taking place at the dirt track at Charlotte. Going to be a $50 to win season finale. And we will also crown a champion, I believe. SG3, Stephen Gaines III is your championship leader there. But from everyone here at Outpost Racing Network, we wish you a fantastic night. Take care of yourself and take care of each other. We'll see you in the next one.